Hello and welcome to the magic of fishing. Today you join me on an island, and not just any island. I've got this beautiful old lake deep in a secluded valley just outside of Haslemere in Surrey, all to myself. And not just for a day's fishing, but for a whole weekend. Today's Friday, I've taken the day off work and I'm going to be staying here on my own until Sunday evening, trying to catch some of the majestic old carp that live in this marvellous looking lake. I've never fished here before and I'm still pinching myself that I've got the whole place to myself. It's going to be a really special angling adventure, and as always it's brilliant to have you folks at home along for the ride. So come with me, let's have a look round. Welcome to paradise, otherwise known as Red Beeches fishery, and it's named after the huge towering red beeches that live on this island that I'll be calling home for the next few days too. And it's a really interesting story, this fishery. It was taken over by Richard and his business partner about 7 years ago, and I've just met Richard for a really helpful chat and a walk round the lake. Still a bit of drizzle in the air actually when we first arrived here early in the morning, and this little valley's got a weather system all of its own. The forecast is for hot sunshine for the rest of the weekend, but it really feels quite almost autumnal at the moment. So many majestic trees around and that light mist in the air. There's still some low cloud hanging over the top of the valley when I arrived. But Richard and his partner spent 2.5 years restoring this beautiful place. It had run to ruin after being used as a fish growing or a fish stock pond by its previous owner for many years, and the island was unreachable. It was full of bamboo, and they spent that long bringing this place back to its former glory. And man, was it worth it. So it's about 3 or 4 acres. That's the dam wall opposite the island. So quiet and peaceful here. Just bird song. And I've come at a great time of year because there's rhododendrons blooming all along the banks in certain places, along with these beautiful yellow flag iris. It's the end of May, so we're about to head into summer, and before the rivers open I can't think of a better place to spend a weekend than this. It really does feel like I've stepped back in time. There's a little hut at the back of the island and a fire pit that I definitely hope to use tonight and over the next couple of nights. But although they've made the island habitable and nice and comfortable for setting up a bivvy or an umbrella, there's still a really wild feeling about the place. Bit of blue sky over there, the long promised sunshine is on its way. It's been a record spring for sunshine. Here's the wood store, bit of kindling there and fire lighters. But let's have a quick look round, give you an idea of the place before I set up my fishing gear and my brolly for the night. all day ahead of us. So it's back across the bridge. There was a carp sat down there when Richard and I arrived, quickly moved off back out into the open lake. It really is densely vegetated all around the lake. They've done a fantastic job of retaining that really wild, natural feel, but providing access to anglers. There was no way around this lake a few years ago. Not even a footpath. They've done so much work on it. And there, past the cow parsley, you can see the island shrouded in more rhododendrons. That's the view out towards the dam and the lake. Another nice little bridge. Oh, and I really have got lucky with the roadies. You book online and it's really designed for small groups of anglers, maybe 2 or 3 mates coming for a weekend social. Very lucky to have this on my own. But when I booked it back in the winter, I was sat working away on my laptop at home. I'd had a particularly long, stressful day, 10 hours or more of work, and I thought I need to plan something really special for me to make all this work feel worthwhile, and this was it. I've got lots of plans for the summer and beyond, lots of fishing coming up, and I can't wait to share all these adventures with you folks at home. But this place in particular was booked in winter when I could only dream of days like this and beautiful flowers like these flag iris, and now it's finally come around. I'm finally here, and that's why it's important to make plans sometimes, something to look forward to. I feel like the lord of the manor, having all this water in front of me for a few days at least to myself. This margin's particularly snaggy, lots of overhanging trees and shrubs, and there's a big bed of lilies emerging too. There's no fishing possible or allowed along this bank, but you can imagine the big carp, which grow up to over 40 pound in this lake, cruising up and down this bank underneath the cover of these overhanging branches. Now we're coming to the dam wall. A little snaggy corner down here that I've been told might be worth a go stalking. Just bring one rod, on an evening, and that's looking back at the breathtaking island where I'm going to be basing myself Some small fish jumping there, and I'm told there's plenty of rudd, a few roach and some big perch, as well as tench, up to really big size. I think he said the biggest tench out was over 12 or 13 pound. So I definitely hope to have a go for the other fish that are in here as well. I'm not going to come completely blinkered for the carp, although that will be, I suppose, the main aim of this weekend. It'd be lovely to catch a big special carp from such a enchanting lake as this. It is spring fed. Here you can see the water running over the dam wall and down on into the valley. Been told there's good fish holding areas underneath the rhododendrons, which he said went back up to 15 foot. The carp obviously may hole up in there during the day, especially with the sun expected. But hopefully they might come out under the cover of darkness. And this is the first time I've fished overnight in years. Yeah, I was probably late 20s, early 30s the last time I set up a bivvy and used carp rods with alarms and really sat it out waiting for one or two special fish. But life changes and I'm now 52, the kids are getting older, my work is often based from home, and my wife Rachel is very patient and understanding, as any of you who watch the channel regularly will know. So this year is really about trying some new or indeed old things that I've not managed to do for the last 2 or 3 decades. I've been too busy working, often in London for big companies, and combine that with busy family life, and the idea of a weekend fishing or even an overnight session just wasn't possible. Now things are changing, and although it's not sad to see the kids getting older, but they're no longer quite as cute as they used to be, and it's exciting seeing them getting independent and start to work for themselves. I've got some more time back, and it is time to spend a bit of time on myself and do what I've always wanted to do and always loved doing, which is fishing. And now I can share it with you folks at home. That makes it all the more special. So as the sun starts to poke out from behind the clouds, I think it's time I got base camp established and started fishing. Richard or his bailiff provide the nets, the weighing equipment, the unhooking mat. They really do look after the fish here, but the rest of the gear is all mine to bring, and the car really was rammed. I've not seen it that full of fishing gear or camping gear as well for quite some time. So I have invested in a brolly system with a ground sheet and a front panel, just in case it should chuck it down anytime I'm fishing overnight. But yeah, I've not owned something like this for a good few years. I sold my old bivvy when I got married and Fred came along. Just didn't have time for any carp fishing, which I was briefly obsessed by in my 20s. So I'm a bit rusty with this kind of stuff. We'll have to work out how to put it together. I tell you what, they're a lot easier than they used to be. So this is home sweet home for the next 2 nights. But of course, this trip is about far more than a bit of camping, as much as I am looking forward to a couple of days, 3 days away from it all. A couple of nights on the canvas. I was always a keen camper when I was a kid and in the Scouts. And yeah, it's something I used to do a lot of in my 20s and haven't done for so long. But we are also here to try and catch some fish. So got the tackle box, I've got a couple of carp rods, and I'm going to fish both quite close to the island. One out to the left, where I've been told the fish move in between the main lake and the channel that goes around the back of the island. There's a little lily bed there, and then the other one I'm going to fish down to the right below some overhanging rhododendrons that I've also been told is worth a go. And if I'm quiet, there is only me here, the fish will come in close once they've settled down after the initial noise of me arriving and setting up. So as much as it's tempting to do a massive chuck over to the back of those lilies, or chuck right out into the middle where I think it goes up to about 6 or 7 foot over towards the dam wall, that's about as deep as it gets here, I'm going to fish accurately and simply. Keep it easy and keep it close. Keep my feeding accurate. I'm not going to feed heavily, going to fish for bites. That's the advice I've been given by Richard. The noisy goose comes over, and then I think during the middle of the day or the afternoon I'll try over on the dam wall and try a bit of snag fishing, a little bit of stalking, see if we can find any fish activity. I'll go and put a bit of bait in there as well, and we'll also do a little bit of mixed species fishing, see whether I can tempt a tench or a perch or even a few roach and rudd. Got a few maggots and some lobworms. So I've got my plan, now it's time to tackle up. Right, that's the left hand rod out. Put a few loose boilies round it. Little bleep there as it's settling. I'm using a heavy sinking line and fishing a slack line with a simple running rig, nothing complicated. And on this right hand rod I've got a solid PVA bag with plenty of crushed boilies, pellet and a bit of liquid food, and I've just got a tiny shaved down boilie about the size of a big pellet on the end of their hair rig to a size 10. So fishing pretty simple, loose offerings on the left rod and good old PVA, which I've not used for years, with some pellets and liquid in this right hand rod, which I'm now going to attempt to land right down the margin. I'm going to get one go at this with PVA, and it's been a while. It's a little underarm cast. Not perfect, but close enough. Okay, that's the second rod. Down the right hand margin. What a view. The sun's out now and there's a lovely warm breeze pushing into the island. And if one or two of you are watching this and thinking, this is all very well and good, John, lovely spot, bit of overnight camping, exciting stuff, but I tune into the magic of fishing for, you know, mixed species, general coarse fishing, pleasure style fishing, not carp rigs and boilies and PVA bags. As I said, don't worry, it's not going to be a regular thing this, but I would love to catch one of these big old carp. Not caught a proper biggie for many years because I've not targeted them, and any size fish will be welcome. You know me, there's a real mix in here, but there are some real beauties, well over my personal best of £28 12 ounce, which if you've read the book you'll know was caught a long time ago from a club water in Woking or just outside Woking, and I've got such fond memories of that night. Magic night. Managed to land it just before dark. So yeah, don't blame me for having a go for these big carp, but rest assured I have just mixed up some Nice stinky ground bait, some green fish meal with some robin red, and I've got some red maggots and a tub of lobworms. Because there are a few perch in here as well, or so I'm told, and tench, I thought maggots and worms with a bit of oily ground bait would give me a chance of getting amongst them. And there is so much to consider when you've got a whole lake to yourself. You know, where do you fish? What do I fish first? How do I feed? But I'm not going to get stressed. I'm determined to be absolutely chilled throughout this trip, and I hope you will be at home. The sound of a chiff chaff in the background, and some sheep, some lambs by the sound of it. There's plenty of small fish topping. Flash of a kingfisher over the far side, but you wouldn't be able to pick that up, I doubt. It is an oasis of peace in a mad world. There's another. Had some really vicious bites this afternoon fishing the tip, but really only when I moved to maggot as a hook bait. Didn't get anything on the worm sections. Gave pellet a go, and now I'm back on double maggot. That's been bust by another small roach or rudd, of which there are plenty, just like Richard said there would be. But nothing to write home about just yet. Well, I'm yet to manage anything over an ounce or two, just a few small roach this afternoon on the maggot. Nothing so far on the worm, but I'm back out on a bigger bait now, hoping for maybe a tench as the light gets lower. Sun is definitely dropping a bit now. It's probably about 6:30, 7 o'clock, but very long days at the end of May, of course. But with a bit of outdoor cooking and a backdrop like this, I am not complaining. This adventure's just getting going. Well folks, I said it was just the beginning of an adventure and I wasn't expecting a little jack pike on the lobworm, but that's what we got, and that's what was probably chasing the fish over the ground bait feeder. Shame it wasn't a big perch. It really did put my heart in my mouth when that tip wanged round. But hey, it's my first proper fish of more than an ounce or two from Red Beeches. So let's get him back. Back you go, fella. Go and terrorise someone else. Off he goes. Well, this isn't a bad way to see out the daylight. It's after 9 now. I think there's probably another half hour, 40 minutes left. And it's so exciting for once not to be packing up as darkness falls. True, the lakes kept me waiting throughout the first day certainly for a carp, but I knew it wouldn't be easy. And at this time of year, you've got every chance once that darkness falls. So Richard was telling me bite o'clock is roughly between 10 p.m. and 10 a.m. at the moment, with fairly bright conditions, and it's just really exciting to be in with a shout even after darkness falls. I'm not sure my heart could take it, being woken up in the middle of the night by a screeching bite alarm, but if a carp is the reward, it'll be worth it. And even if nothing happens in the night, I might just get some sleep, and a whole new day awaits tomorrow. It's fantastic, this lifestyle of living by the water. It's a long time, as I keep saying, since I've done it. I'm not too far from the rods here, and this will keep me nice and warm until bedtime. This is my view from bed about 11 o'clock. Faint bit of light being picked up by the camera, but it's pretty much pitch black from my point of view. I've heard some big fish crash out. Only a couple, but proper big fish. That's got my heart a little bit elevated for good sleep, but I've hit the sack early because I'll probably be woken up by a very early dawn if there's no action in the night. And hear a few owls calling. Feels good to be fishing into the dark again. Good morning and welcome to the second day at the glorious Red Beeches fishery. If I look a bit bleary-eyed, that's because I am, but unfortunately not, because I was up hauling carp all night. But they were really active. There were loads crashing out on that left-hand road bank where there's lots of snags. Let's get these sausages on. I didn't bring this camping gas and stove for nothing. And it's really given me renewed hope for the second day. It's always the amazing thing about fishing, isn't it? You can have a tough day, just the one pike and a few small roach yesterday, and wake up to the dawn chorus in my case at about 4 a.m. and feel completely renewed hope for that second day, and more importantly for the second night. I think my plan is to go over to the dam wall once I've had my breakfast and washed up, and try a bit of snag fishing, try and stalk a fish in one of the corners, and then once it gets hot, because it is forecast to get hot and bright, Perhaps try a bit of float fishing just for small stuff, or the tench where it's deepest off that dam wall. And then we'll come back here to the island for the evening and try and get the rods, both rods I think, over to that road bank, and hopefully our luck will change. It's going to be a scorcher. I've made my way along the dam, which is very open, and bathed in sunlight, even though it's only just after 9 in the morning. Feels like midday to me already. But this is just a beautiful situation to have a whole lake to myself. There's no stressing about whether certain swims are going to be taken or whether other anglers are going to come along and come in next to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the company of other anglers, and I certainly don't expect to get entire lakes to myself every time I come fishing, but just as a unique one-off, this is really quite lovely. And I've come right to the far corner. You can see base camp over the other side, almost opposite, and I've come right round to the far corner, and I'm just fishing one rod out in the little gap there. I've been told by Richard it's a real snaggy area, that the tree limbs actually go under the water as well as over it, and the carp do like to hang out there. So I've managed to drop a bait just in there, just with a little PVA bag of crumb and crushed boilie. I'm not feeding it heavy, I'm just fishing for a bite at a time, as I've been advised. And yeah, I'm going to sit it out just with a one rod and see whether I can tempt anything. But I think during the strong sun that we've got, it's either going to be snag fishing like this or wait until evening and another magical night here. And in the meantime, I've got a book to read. I'm hoping Mr. Chris Yates can provide me with some carp fishing inspiration. Golden Scales, great little book if you've not read it. Really nice short chapters. It's a lost diary that he had from back when he was still just fishing red mire. I think it's the season after he'd caught the record. It's really entertaining read, and it'll hopefully keep me entertained while we wait. One or two pike or perch strikes going on right in the corner as well. I think I've got to stick it out on the carp for now. I'll have a go on the float this afternoon. Keen not to make any more disturbance than I already have getting the rod in. Richard was saying the carp in here really know when you're here, which perhaps isn't any different to any other water, any other natural stock venue. They're not daft fish. But I really have tried to get around here as quietly as I can and set up as quietly as I can. Still probably made far too much noise, but it's the thought that counts. It is red hot. I can't believe it's still May as I film this. Spring, and it's, well, the forecast said it was going to be 25 and I'm sat in the sun, so it's even hotter than that. Occasional bit of cloud cover, but the good news is there's a tiny bit of breeze, and when that breeze is blowing, it is coming into this corner onto me, cooling me down a bit and pushing towards the snag, where I've managed to land that bait so close to the trailing branches, and that's obviously providing shade. So if the fish are going to do any feeding during the day, it's probably going to be in the snags rather than open water. It's Fascinating actually, there's no surface activities, no sign of carp during the day, even though there was so many crashing out through the night. And I think with it being bright and warm, they are under the snags, under the rhododendrons and other trees, and then when it gets dark and cools off, they're coming out to feed. So if I can't fool one today in the hot sunshine, we'll have another go tonight. Oh, all I could manage this afternoon on the float were plenty more small roach when I succumbed to using maggot again. But I sat out the last hour on worm, and as I suspected, it's just too hot, bright and still for any respectable big fish to feed. But what a lovely way to get back to my island camp. Just using a small boat to take my rods back, and then I'll walk back round for the bag and other stuff, the bait. But nice to be out across the middle of the lake. Home sweet home. Lovely breeze. There's a carp in the back channel round the back of the island, just coming up to some pads. Definitely feeling a bit more fishy now it's greying over, and I'm excited by that kind of sight. Oof, didn't quite catch it on film, but a nice one just crashed out over to the right. I'm standing on the bridge. There's a carp trying to keep still right in front of me. Very murky, silty water. Can't really see, you might be able to see the surface just rocking there a bit. They are getting active. The reason I'm looking for carp rather than fishing for them is Richard's really kindly offered for his son, or one of his sons, Chris, to come along, who apparently knows the place really well, and will try and help point me in the right direction in terms of where I'm fishing tonight. It's obviously my last big chance of an overnight carp. That's very good of them both. You cannot beat local knowledge or expert knowledge when you're fishing somewhere new. The skies are greying over, it's definitely getting cooler, and that breeze is still pushing into road banks, so with a few extra fish sightings on top, anticipation is definitely growing, and I'm just waiting for Chris to arrive and give me a pointer or two for the evening. Oh folks, not only has there been lots of fish activity since it cooled down, but Chris has just been round, and I should clarify right away, he's not a son of Richard's, he's one of the lads who works with him. What a lovely, lovely young bloke, and really knowledgeable about carp fishing. As you can see, both rods now pointing to the left, and as I guess they've been put right over by the roadies where I heard all the activity last night. And I'm telling you now, I have not felt this giddy with excitement while fishing for quite a long time. You've seen plenty of moments of high tension and anticipation on the magic of fishing, so I'm not claiming this is any more special than any of the previous, but I actually feel a bit sick with anticipation. Not because catching fish is the only thing that matters, but because it's been such a brilliant weekend already, and a lot of effort's gone in, a lot of time and a bit of money, and it would be really nice to catch, you know, one carp. It would be the cherry on the cake, and I feel now with that local advice, a real serious young carper knows what he's talking about. You know, I've not been carp fishing for 25, 30 years, so certainly 25. So I'm not too proud to take a bit of advice, and now I've got that local insight about where I need to be putting those baits. Just feel like I've got a chance. It's not nailed on, but there's a chance. So let's see what the night holds in store. Oh my God, we've got one. Left hand rod. Oh, it's run off. I couldn't quite believe it. Just a couple of bleeps. Ran down. Oh God, it's going to go around the corner, please now. Gotta give it some real stick. Shit. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to go in. Oh, let's go. Oh shit, it's already going around the snag. Oh, he snagged. Oh shit. Let's go. Come on now. Shit, he's gone solid. Oh shit. I'm in the water now, so might as well carry on. Is there any feeling? Oh, he knew where to go. My heart is pounding. Breathe, John. Breathe. It's cold and deep and salty. Shit, feels solid. Well, oh God, it's getting salty now. Let's perhaps not go any further just yet. Come on, I can feel something. Come on. Oh shit. Come on. Oh, at least 3. Jesus Christ, come on. He's going for the other snag. Oh, that's better. He's right below me. Oh my God, he's not a big one. But I've got him out. Oh shit. How can I get out of here with my shoes? Oh. We've got one. Trying to extract my feet from the mud. Whoa, he's powerful. Whoa. Even with a strong rod. Arms going, legs going. Let's see if we can work our way back. Whoa. Might have to lose my shoes, I think. Wow. Oh, it's cold and very silty. Oh, I got it. Come on. I think I'm going to give up the shoes. Sold the shoes. It's a carp. solid ground. Do not lose him, John. You've given up your shoes for this. Oh, where the hell am I? Oh my God, he does not give up. Oh, some kind of submerged tree there. Come on. Let's see if we can get back without losing anything more than shoes. Oh. I've caught bigger carp than this, but none as important. What a fight from a modest fish. Whoa. Okay, now we can slacken off the clutch a bit. Oh my God, I can almost touch him. See the boilie. Let's get back on the platform and get that net. Hopefully you can tell this is an important fish to me. Okay, come on. Come on, my beauty. Come on. Oh my God. My arm's falling off. Let's not rush this. Come on. Not as modest as I thought, actually. Oh. Oh. Yes, get in. Oh, I am soaked. I'm very happy. Is this the biggest carp I've ever caught? Not by a mile. Almost half the size of my biggest fish, but at £15, I don't think I've ever caught more chunky, deep-bellied, beautifully pale mirror carp. Okay, I might be over the top here for a modest fish, but what an important fish. I think I've explained why already. All the help from Richard and Chris. Chris, this one's for you. Nearly didn't get it out. I'm soaking wet, slimy. I've lost my shoes, and I am happy as Larry. What a lovely creature. What a privilege it is to catch these things. Only just. I don't know how I got him out the snags, but it's worth the soaking. Oh, he's so stocky. Incredibly heavy for his size. What a beautiful creature. What a beautiful evening this now is. Turns out I had my phone in my pocket, so sound's gone on that for now. I'm recording on the action cam and I hope you can hear me okay. What a lovely fish. Let's get him back. One last look. He's earned a release. Let's get him back. Oh. He's going off strong. I think I need to get changed and dry off by the fire. I hope you can hear me alright, because I'm recording on one of the action cameras, and as I said, my phone got a bit of a soaking there. The sound isn't quite happening. Oh, heart is still pounding. Only fishing can do this to me. Maybe to you too, but certainly for me. Ah, I've been running around. Thank God I've got this island to myself, this whole fishery to myself, because I've had to run around to find spare clothes in the dark with a torch. Stalkers. No one wants to see that, apart from maybe Rachel on a good night. But yeah, if anyone tells you Red Beeches is haunted, they've probably just seen me. my white arse, running around in the dark trying to find something warm, trying to find extra wood for the fire. Absolutely worth it, so worth it for that one fish. As I say, not the biggest carp I've ever caught or will ever catch, hopefully, but one of the most important, and I hope you'll understand why. I think you will. What an adventure it's been, and what a brilliant finale. Or will it be the finale? Who knows? I'm not looking for another fish or wanting another fish. I've got the one other rod still fishing, so who knows? Got the whole night ahead of us. For now, I'm just glad I got some warm clothes on some dry clothes, and this fire is just what I need. Good morning, and what a morning it's been. I would have said what a night it was, but around 7 o'clock this morning, the remaining rod bleeped a couple of times and I was on it like a rocket. Saw the tip was starting to pull round and picked up as quickly as I could, but unfortunately the fish was right in the snags already. Remarkable how they know exactly where to go, and despite being locked up and getting on it really quickly, it was solid within a few seconds. I didn't really feel any resistance from the fish. Gave it a lot of time under pressure and on a slack line, and no joy, so ended up going in the boat to take a look. Little bleep there from the rods, which I've now got back out, but I think that's because there's quite a nice breeze on the lake this morning. Yeah, got out there on the boat and I was really relieved to find my rig intact with the bait, so I've not left anything in a fish or in the water, but a little bit gutted to have lost a fish. And wow, what a difference getting some expert or local advice makes, eh? I mean, it's really transformed the trip. I was enjoying it anyway, but that fish last night and then another opportunity missed this morning. Wouldn't surprise me if I get another chance, and I will let you know if I do, but I think now feels like a good time to say my goodbyes, because that fish really was the cherry on the cake, and unless I get another, I'll be going home a completely happy man based on that alone. And I'm really glad you've stuck with me until the end and you were patient like I was patient. I really hope you've enjoyed it. A massive thank you to Richard and indeed Chris, who helped me get on the carp last night. And I can't recommend this place more highly. I don't do reviews. This isn't a review. There's the wind again. I've paid my money to fish here, and it's not the cheapest way to fish, but what a memorable, magical experience it's been. I really feel like I've had a holiday, and I'll be quite sad to leave today. Back to reality, back to phones, lots of people, back to my family too, and I can't wait for that, as always. So thanks again for watching. I think it's been a special video. It'll probably make for quite a long and special video, but I hope an enjoyable one. I really hope my admiration and enjoyment of this place has come across. I'll put the link to the website in the video description as usual, so if anyone is interested in coming for a stay, I'm sure Richard will do his best to put you on fish as well too. And it can be far more prolific than this. I know some regular anglers here can get multiple fish hits over a weekend, but it's fantastic whether you're catching or not. It really is bliss, away from modern life. It's like a lost world. So until next time, stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you again soon on the bank.